Hey, I'm Raz.
I'm Neilden.
Welcome back to Metal Manglers. Trying to get back to some of our old production values, get the sound quality and the picture quality improved a little bit. I had a great time at Chili Bowl. He hates my guts. It's great to be back at the home base, though. I want to thank everybody for the support of the videos I did post from Chili Bowl. I know the editing on them was horrible. I didn't have a good editing computer there.
But we got content to you.
Yeah, and it was great that I got a ton of views. There is more Chili Bowl footage to come. I'm trying to get some stuff edited together and get some good videos out of there. At the Chili Bowl, there was an incident with Michael Facinto. I'm not going to get into what he said. There is no defense for what he said. I've seen a bunch of people online going, well, it's an overreaction. No, what he said was horrible. And what happened to him
was justified.
Yeah, it was completely justified. And he's a good guy. He's a California racer. He's a hell of a driver. And he will recover from this. But I did want to say thank you to Tulsa Sod and Mulch for basically doing the right thing and pulling out of the race because of what happened in that interview. But that brought up a whole nother conversation about sponsorship. How would that affect, his potential for sponsorship going forward? And it will. Again, what he does from here on out will have the ultimate decision on whether that's going to be a long-term effect or a short-term effect on him. So, but I have confidence that Mike's going to do the right thing. But one of the things we talked about is how difficult it is for young racers. You have your basic buddy sponsorship, your family, your friends, your uncle's grading business who's going to go on the side of your car just because of their relationship with you. It has nothing to do with whether they believe in you as a driver or your program or anything, but they're going to support you because you're a friend or family.
It's what they call intangible asset.
Yeah. And then, the next sponsorship up from there is, kind of like a trade for service. They have a product, they're going to give it to you in exchange for being on the side of your car or give you a discount for being on the side of your car. Vinyl graphics is a big one like that. T-shirts.
Lubes.
Yeah, sometimes people...
Oils
and lubes.
Lubricants. A lot of times are trade for product.
Yeah. And what we want to talk about here is the next level. The big corporate money sponsorship. What's it going to take to get that? And some of you already know this stuff, so I'm not reinventing the wheel here. I'm just sharing knowledge that other people have shared with me. But some of you don't, so hopefully you can learn something from this. The biggest thing I want to tell a young driver is your website is the hub. It's the center of your wheel. All your social media is the spokes, but it's driving all that traffic to that website. You want to get people on your website. That's where you control your content, and you can track your views. You can see what's hitting,
clicks,
what the clicks are coming from, where your traffic is coming from, and you can control the message. You also don't have to worry about trolls making weird comments on your social media on your website. You control 100% of that. So, and the other thing is, you can sell merchandise and do press releases and things like that on your website. So all of your social media should be driving traffic to your website. Just remember, it's all about the website. Make sure that your social media is professional. Meaning if you have a Twitter account or a Snapchat or Instagram where you're making jokes with your friends and doing stupid stuff and things like that, get off of there. Have whether it's Speed Racer official or whatever, a different account for your racing business, because this is a business. And make sure that you're not posting anything on there that could be in the remotely offensive category.
That includes memes.
Yeah, it includes memes. And what seems harmless now, a year from now, with social justice being what it is, could be deemed offensive. So you got to be real careful. Keep it professional, and you have to treat it like a job. It's every time you post something, you're doing a job interview for that potential sponsor. But yeah, have the Twitter, have the Facebook, have the Instagram, have the Snapchat, the TikTok, whatever it is. Get on all of them. And if you can't be posting content on a regular basis, and pretty much daily is the regular basis, then find somebody who can, whether it's your brother or your sister or your mom or whoever, that can post that content for you and keep putting your stuff out there. Every time someone has a good photo of you, post it up there. Make sure you credit the photographer, man. These guys work hard. So if you're going to share their image, give them credit.
Well, they have a lot of talent themselves.
Well, and not only that,
The equipment.
you're building a relationship with that photographer. If he knows that you're going to give him credit, then he's going to make sure to get a good shot of you.
Yeah.
Because you're the guy who, hey, this guy always takes care of me. So something I didn't mention as far as social media that a young driver may not think about is LinkedIn. Get on LinkedIn. It's more geared towards professionals, but that's where you're going to find your CEOs, your public relations managers of different companies. They're going to be on LinkedIn. And don't make a friend with so-and-so from Weld Racing on LinkedIn and then immediately ask him for a sponsorship. Build that relationship. If you friend him one day and ask him for a sponsorship the next, he's going to ignore it. But let's say you make the friend or connection with someone on LinkedIn, and then you say, hey, I dig your product. I use it on my racing program. This is something that, I really like. And share a picture of you in your race car with their product and say, feel free to use this in your advertising or social media. And then, hit them up a little while later and say, hey, we're doing this, with your product, and, it's working out great for us. Is there any potential for doing something?
Some kind of collaboration together.
Some type of collaboration. And again, build that relationship, make it blossom. But you have to treat social media like a job. It is a full-time job. It is what you're doing. You're trying to build your reputation, get that exposure. Most of these sponsors don't care if you win races. They're not sponsoring you because you win races. They're sponsoring you because they want your image related to their product. So make sure that your image is a relatable image. Build a persona. One of the great examples of that is Damian Gardner. He's the demon. What's another one? Brady Bacon has a great...
Well, what do you think of when you hear Metal Militia?
Yeah, Metal Militia is another one where they built a brand, and that's what you're doing. You're building a brand.
And the Dugans are still running Metal Militia, and Pastrana even said, he saw it from a different perspective. I was just out there having fun, and he was like, this is a business.
Right.
He promoted himself and built Metal Militia into something that his kids are on now. So, you can make this long term, but once you land those sponsors, your job's not done. It's just starting.
Yeah, and one of the most marketable motorsports athletes out there, Dale Jr. People weren't sponsoring Dale Earnhardt Jr. because of his win-loss record. Because let's face it, he didn't win as much as Kyle Busch or other drivers. But he became the sweetheart of sponsors because of his image. Some of that had to do with the family ties. Some of it had to do with he's a very personable guy. He looks great on camera. He's got a good sense of humor. And that's who you want to be. You
don't hear him bad in the media.
Yeah. And if you get out of that race car and you're mad because so-and-so did you dirty, make sure that if you can't hold your temper, stay away from the cameras. Go in the trailer for 5 minutes or 10 minutes or however long it takes. Don't be that guy who makes a viral moment and everybody's sharing it, and you're looking like a butthead. So if you know you're hot-tempered, and a lot of race cars drivers are, me included, you got to discipline yourself to don't be a YouTube viral sensation saying something stupid.
Figure out how to hold your tongue.
Yeah. Then if you're lucky enough to get these sponsors that we're talking about, that big money corporate sponsorship, Metal Manglers, when we make it big, we'll sponsor some young driver. Take care of that relationship. Talk to that person who's your point man or point woman for that company.
Weekly.
And talk to them all the time. Just socially. You want that person to know you, build that relationship with you, and that way you're more than just a race car number on a track. You're a person, and you're building that relationship with them. Show gratitude. Every opportunity you have. So the key thing is, when you're using your social media, put your website address in there. Put your products in there that are being sponsored. Put hashtags or links to the products. Always take care of that professional who's decided to do business with you. Because, again, it's not about your performance, it's about your image.
Well, and a lot of these companies are not looking for the number. It's the intangible assets.
Right.
It's just because, let's say, Hoosier sponsors me, Weld is still on that too, because I've run a Weld wheel with a Hoosier tire. And I can't say, hey, I sold you X amount of Hoosiers, or I sold X amount of welds for you. But that is tied into a sponsorship. Say I got Snap-on sponsoring the whole car, and I have Weld wheels on it. Well, now they just rode on each other's.
Yeah, and be careful of your other things. If you, let's say you are sponsored by Snap-on, take those Matco tools and put them in your garage. Don't have them anywhere near your race car so someone could get a picture of them. And I'm not saying that Snap-on's greater than Matco. It's just you now have a relationship with the company, and they're going to be mad. I had a relationship with Flowmaster and made a mistake using a competitor's name, and it blew up in my face. So.
Yeah, but that's just some of the quick things for you guys. We don't want to make this too long. There's tons of info out there for you. There's books on it to read that are good reads, actually. But, we want to help you guys build. We want to help you become better, help you build your brand and build what you love doing. Whether it's racing dirt cars like we love doing, if it's off-road, on-road, if it's riding BMX bikes, doesn't matter. It all is the same ball of wax.
Yeah, and if you have a success story, share it in the comments. If you have a question, share it in the comments. And do me a favor, if you share this video, tag us in it. We could use a little bit of exposure ourselves.
Make sure you hit that like, hit the subscribe, share it with your friends.
I'm Raz.
I'm Neilden.
We're Metal Manglers.
Thanks.